Hey everyone, welcome to today's special video. I've got something new and exciting for you. A breakdown of 3 different Graves games. We will dive deep into the decision making process behind every move and learn how to consistently secure a lead by the mid game. My name is Forrest and I'm a Master Tier jungle main and Graves OTP. In this video I will focus on the first 8 to 10 minutes of each game, highlighting key decisions, common mistakes and the shared mindset that unites 3 very different players. Let's get started. In the first game we are facing Kane, a pretty easy matchup for Graves, especially early on when he has no form steal. About the matchup for the laners, Cassandra against Renekton, early on is Renekton favored, so taking any fight there is risky and can result in us dying. Worst case, Renekton can even 1v2 us and Cassandra is going to outscale Renekton anyways, so we want to put away from that lane. In the mid lane, we have 2 control mages with teleport, so besides keeping an eye on that lane, there is not much to say. If there is a free kill, you want to rotate because they are going to look to poke each other. On the bot side though, Blitz wants to play aggressively or else he is going to lose most of his HP to Lulu and Jinx. Even though Corki is not the best early game ADC, Jinx isn't strong early either. But since Blitz wants to play really aggressively, we can see why bot is a great lane to bet towards. Amazing win condition, also vulnerable to gank, so perfect if you want to get ahead. When playing Graves, you can look to full clear towards the bot lane. While doing so, it's a good idea to put 2 points into your queue for a slightly faster clear. A small tip for efficiency. Kill your Gromp after your wolves instead of going straight for blue buff. This sequencing ensures that Gromp will respawn sooner for your second clear. Now you might wonder, what if there's a fight going on? Isn't blue buff better? The answer is no. Early on, the extra ability haste is negligible and Graves doesn't need the mana unless you are playing a very mana hungry champion like Vartus or Hecarim, who usually starts with blue anyway for a faster clear. While petting, always keep an eye on your side lanes for potential gank opportunities. For example, if the minion wave is in bad position, it's likely to lead to a fight. That's perfect for us because it lets us clean up. In this scenario, the bot lane would have likely secured the kill without our help, but because we helped, Jinx got 2 kills instead of just 1. Even though we only got 2 assists, this was the ideal outcome. Be patient with your recall timing. Always aim to recall with around 1000 gold so you can afford a serrated Dirk. Staying on the map for plays like this is often the right call. In this case, the timer was 350 and our Crux wouldn't respawn until around 415, giving us plenty of time to make the play and recall in time for the next camp. Let's talk about the scatter grab. After a successful gank, only take scatter if you need the gold for your Dirk, otherwise skip it. Scatter's gold and experience are minimal early on and wasting time on it can cost you better opportunities elsewhere. For example, skipping Scuttle could have given us enough time to rotate top to prevent the dive. Afterward, you will want to path towards the bot lane again. Clear camps on the way, but always keep an eye on the lane state. If the bot lane needs immediate help, be ready to skip a camp and rotate ASAP. While timed ganks are crucial. Graves, for instance, knew his bot lane would be vulnerable while crashing a wave, which is the perfect moment for a gank. Graves excels in early skirmishes, especially against Kane, as long as he fights with his strong side. A 3v3 fight with equal numbers is usually in Graves' favor. After a strong fight in the bot lane, it's tempting to take Dragon, but in this situation it wasn't necessary. We knew Kane wasn't in a position to contest it and likely assumed we were taking it, but if we don't take Dragon, we can deny him resources elsewhere. For example, instead of taking Dragon, we prioritize Wild Grabs, denying Kane any advantage. Once that's done, check your goal. If you can afford Yumu's Ghostblade, recall. If not, farm your jungle until you can. From this point forward, your focus should shift to looking for fights, but only taking favorable ones. Camps should become a secondary priority, cleared only when no opportunities are present on the map. Use your early power spike to snowball as hard as possible. That wraps up the first game. Now let's dive into the second game, which features different matchups but follows the same core concept. In this game, I'll walk you through the second matchup as Graves, where we focus on strong decision making, pathing and adapting to the game state. I always say this, you want to weak side top almost all the time because in 80% of your games bot lane is your win condition. However, bot lane might not always be the most vulnerable or easiest easiest to gank, especially for a champion like Graves who offers no crowd control. In this case, we have Gunnar against Pantheon in the top lane. Pantheon has Ignite, which suggests that he is aiming for early fights and all-ins. In the mid lane, we have two control mages with Teleport again. This lane will likely remain even, but as always, keep an eye out for ganking opportunities. Bot lane has Saya and Sona on our side, a duo that lacks strong gank setup until they hit level 6. On the other side, Kalista and Nico has a much bigger threat with their damage and ability to punish Graves, who lacks harsh CC. Ganking Kalista without setup can be frustrating, so this makes the top lane our best focus early on. We decide to path towards top lane, and this time you don't want to ask for a leash. Remember, you don't need a leash in season 14, and that won't change in the upcoming season either. We notice Viego stealing our raptors. This is unexpected and suggests he assumed we started on the top side. It's a rough start, but this is where good decision making and map awareness comes into play. Top lane is vulnerable, and even though Gnar died, we adapt by skipping a full clear. Instead, we look for a trade on Pantheon, resulting in a 1-for-1. After good play, you have two choices: break off for an item spike or fall back into your jungle to secure camps. This depends on the game state. In this case, we want to fall back into our jungle and keep clearing our camps while looking for the next play. We notice on the minimap that Gnar is fighting again with Pantheon, so we rotate to half. While it's generally best to skip camps when a fight is happening, if your camp is low on HP and gives you just enough XP to level up, it's fine to secure it first before rotating. Unfortunately, we miss a W and Pantheon escapes with 1 HP. Flashing for the kill isn't worth it here. Simply forcing him out of lane and helping Gnar shove the wave is enough. If Pantheon stays, we can dive him. If he doesn't, he loses a massive wave, making it a win-win scenario. Graves decides to wait and have Gnar dive Pantheon, which was the better play overall, even though we missed the earlier kill. After making two great plays on the map, it's time to recall, spend our gold, and move towards the bot side. You might argue that Viego took our bot side camps, making it pointless to head there. However, we have Dirt, while Viego hasn't reset yet, so we are stronger than him. When Viego makes a risky play by diving our bot lane, we rotate and clean it up. You always want to abuse your item advantage and fight while being ahead, and this is a perfect example of that. Even though Viego had more gold, he unspent advantage didn't matter because of his lack of items. Graves makes a small mistake here by being greedy and dying for a kill that could have been left for a healthier laner. It's not the worst stat, but it's avoidable, so keep this in mind when in similar situations. Next we move toward the top side since it's our strong lane and our top camps are up. If there is no gank opportunity, clearing camps is fine, but if a fight breaks out, keep the camps and rotate immediately. In this case, we clear the camps first and arrive in time to prevent Viego from killing Gnar and taking Void Gloves. This is why watching your laners is so important. Ignoring top lane and pathing towards bot would have given Viego an opportunity to snowball. Instead, we secure Void Gloves after a kill, adding more value to our play. When outnumbered and the enemy laners are stronger, fall back after securing what you can. 2 Void Gloves are enough, and with enough gold for your moves, we recall, buy, and prepare for our next power spike. Since our topside camps are down, we head towards the bot lane for red buff. Before we proceed, here is a question: where would you go after Raptors? Would you invade the enemy bot side knowing it's up, or go for a top lane fight because you have item advantage? Think carefully before decide. If you choose to go top, congratulations, that's the correct decision. Even though it's just an echo, we can check for wards and camps on Viego's top side and steal any resources available. After fighting and stealing camps, our focus shifts once again to taking fights. Farming becomes secondary at this stage. With completed item advantage, we want to abuse this power spike and make impactful plays. Even if our bot lane dies, the next play matters more. By recognizing opportunities on the map and rotating accordingly, we clean up fights and maintain our lead. Viego thought he can make a play on bot lane because we showed on top, but he was wrong and we want to punish him more. When you are this ahead, you never want to give a chance to the enemy jungler to make a play on the other side of the map without being punished. This concludes the second game, and I hope it was as educational as the first. If you have made it this far, thank you for watching, your support means a lot. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment if you haven't already. Now let's move on to the third and the final Graves game. In this game we are up against Kha'Zix, one of Graves' toughest matchups, second only to Kindred. Winning against Kha'Zix Kha'Zix requires avoiding isolation in small skirmishes. Stick to 2v2 or 3v3 fights to mitigate his strength and increase your chance of coming out ahead. Looking at the lane matchups, the enemy top laner is playing Gragas, a champion with strong sustain and great tools to escape ganks, making it difficult lane to influence early. In mid lane, we again have control mages with teleport on both sides. While these matchups may not be as exciting as Yone vs Zed, so sorry about that for not finding a matchup you see in your games most of the time. They are extremely common in high elo though. The bot lane has Syndra against Smolder. Both carries have engaged supports with hard crowd control. Both sides offer strong setup, but Syndra's stun adds great utility, making the bot lane the best focus for early pressure. Given this analysis, we are pathing towards bot lane. It's crucial to consider matchups during the loading screen so you can enter the game with a clear plan. As always, take 2 points in Q and clear Gromp instead of blue for efficiency. If you see a play going on, you can skip blue or scatter to react, but in this case we didn't have to, and Graves arrived to bot lane in time to help secure here for Syndra. Graves makes more mistakes in this game compared to the previous two, but mistakes are valuable learning opportunities. The first mistake came after the bot lane gank. Instead of going to top lane to use his item advantage after the recall, Graves chose to farm his camps. This late reaction led to a greedy 1v2 fight where he was isolated, a critical error against Kha'Zix. After that, the focus should be on securing Raptors. Raptors is a central camp, allowing you to react to play in any lane, mid, top or bot based on what unfolds. Wolves are a good fallback option if there are no other opportunities. There is a mid lane skirmish going on, but Graves recognizes that it's not favorable. Lux has just teleported back, Nautilus isn't healthy, Ryze is looking to be set, and Kha'Zix remains stronger in these scenarios even with the same items. After the fight, Kha'Zix likely goes for Void Grabs, while Graves is going for the Dragon. While Dragon isn't a bad decision, a more efficient play would have been stealing the enemy Raptors, securing Scuttle and setting up a bot lane game. This order would allow Graves to make both plays safely and with less risk. You always want to invade enemy jungle camps first and then falling back to neutral objectives, in this case Dragon, instead of securing Dragon and then looking for invade, when the whole enemy team knows your location because you just secured Drake. Instead, Graves invades the enemy jungle after Dragon, which is riskier. However, this works out and he also gets a free kill on Alistar. In such cases, take the kill and leave quickly to prioritize recalling and getting your Yumu spike. Once you hit a power spike, prioritize fighting over farming. While waiting for your laners to position for fights, you can secure 1 or 2 camps or even a full quadrant if time allows. After all, look for fights where you are not isolated and where you hold an item advantage. The next fight is a perfect example of that. Graves has an item advantage on Kha'Zix, he is not isolated and he is taking a free fight, which I mentioned earlier. This balance of capitalizing on power spike while farming selectively is key to success as a player, doesn't matter if you're playing Graves or anyone else. Mistakes are inevitable, but each one offers a chance to improve. And because of that, I hope you found this helpful and I could show you, even while not playing perfectly, despite making some mistakes, you can actually snowball in pretty much every game. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you in the next one, and Happy New Year!